I think it's easier for people, and I think you lay out the argument in the moral landscape kind of like this. I think it's easier perhaps to gain initial agreement between people on what might constitute a generalized ethic, to concentrate on what we don't want. Yeah. I'm not saying that what we do want is unimportant, but it seems to me to be harder to get a grip on. We don't want Auschwitz. We don't want the Gulag Archipelago. So, and there are
and I would add, to just closing the door to moral relativism here, those who do want Auschwitz are wrong to want Auschwitz. I mean, it's obviously right. Auschwitz only happened because some people did want Auschwitz, not the victim side, but the perpetrator side. And so, crucially for me is the claim that I'm a realist. I'm a moral realist, and what realism means is that there are right and wrong answers to questions of this kind, and you cannot know what you're missing. In fact, we almost certainly don't know what we're missing on questions of human value, and our job is to discover just how good life can be and just what variables are making it needlessly horrible, and to mitigate all of that and live in a better world.
Okay, well, so that you just described, but that's not particularly associated with the belief in God. There's something that makes them, that's a commonality between them. And so, do you have any sense of what that might be?
Well, I think one has to acknowledge that there's something uniquely pernicious, at least potentially, about religious beliefs, because they have the otherworldly variable, the supernatural variable, you're going to get everything you want after you die, so this life doesn't matter issue. That allows for a kind of misbehavior that is especially
so it seems that the claim would be that if you put forward axiomatically your claim that God exists, then you can use that claim to justify whatever arbitrary atrocities your system might throw off.
Yeah, I guess the only point I was making there is that not all dogmas are created equal. I mean, some dogmas are on their face more dangerous and more divisive.
Right, but what I'm curious about specifically is, because it seems to me that the dogmas of the USSR and the dogmas of Nazi Germany were as pernicious as any religious dogmas, and they may also share important features with pernicious religious dogmas, but it isn't clear to me from your perspective what those commonalities would be.
Well, so, I mean, in some ways you're recapitulating an argument I've made, and this is an argument that I would make against you were you to claim, as you have elsewhere, that atheism is responsible for the greatest atrocities of the 20th century. The idea that Stalinism and Nazism and fascism were expressions of atheism simply doesn't make any sense. I mean, in the case of fascism and Nazism, it doesn't make any sense because the fascists and the Nazis, by and large, were not even atheists. I mean, Hitler wasn't an atheist, and he was talking about executing a divine plan, and he got lots of support from the churches, and the Vatican did nothing to stop him, and fascism, as you know, coexisted quite happily with Catholicism in Croatia and Portugal and Spain and Italy. So, but even in the case of Stalin, what was so wrong with that situation were all of the ways in which it so resembled a religion. You had a personality cult, you had dogmatism that held sway to a point where apostasy and blasphemy were killing offenses. You know, the people who didn't toe the line were eradicated, and so to take a more modern example, North Korea is a religious cult. It just doesn't happen to be one that is focused on the next life or supernatural claims of magic.
So what would be the defining characteristics of a religious totalitarian movement that would make it different from a non-religious totalitarian movement?
Well,
because there's aspects that are similar.
They're very similar. I mean, the problem is dogmatism. The overarching problem is believing things strongly on bad evidence. And the reason why dogmatism is so dangerous is that it doesn't allow us to revise our bad ideas in real time through conversation. Dogmas have to be enforced by force or the threat of force, because the moment someone has a better idea, you have to shut it down in order to preserve your dogmas.
Okay. So the commonality seems to be something like claims of absolute truth at some level that you're no longer allowed to discuss.
TC, we're under attack! city! We're defenseless!
This is terrible! I'm gonna die in the future without ever playing Nintendo Wii?
Sir, the sea otters are advancing! They've broken through the east portal! What? Three-way fun chat on screen! What are you otters doing? This is our attack!
Yes, and we're attacking both of you!
You fools! This will be the end of us all!
Then accept our answer to the great question, and we will withdraw.
Your answer to the great question is illogical!
What is the great question?
What atheists should call themselves?
Unified Atheist League is the most logical name.
United Atheist Alliance makes more sense!
No! Allied Atheist Alliance! That way it has 3 A's! That is the logical choice!
So be it. We cannot agree. Prepare to die.
My red missiles launched, sir!
I have to get out of here! Why is everyone in my past so stupid that they think I'm crank calling them?
But Eric, meow meow, you knew the wife of the smartest man in all of history?
Who?
Your teacher, the one called Garrison.
Garrison? But he's an asshole!